What about these quarterbacks? What do you hear? What are you excited to see as far as, what's the buzz around them this weekend?
Well, it feels like there's starting to be a consensus about Cam Ward ahead of Shedeur Sanders.
Right.
I think that makes sense to me as someone who's watched Cam Ward at all of his different stops as he's
Agreed.
elevated through college football.
Agreed.
Cam Ward has the intangibles. He can extend and make crazy plays. He's a little bit, and Chris has seen me watch him, it's a little bit like, no, yes. Okay,
yes,
great. Like,
right.
because it sometimes works. He will throw bad picks. He will learn.
Right.
But I like his upside. And I think we're going to see more of his personality and some of that cockiness, right? Confidence, right on the border, that I think you want in the guy who's going to be the face of your franchise. And it's starting to trickle out in the way he's talking about, if other teams, if they don't draft me, they're going to regret it and things like that. And you don't have the circus of Shedeur Sanders where, like, everything will probably be filmed.
Yeah,
you have the
right.
Deion Sanders if things aren't going the way that you want.
Yeah, that's going to be a big storyline to watch out for in
Whoever
general.
drafts Shedeur Sanders has to be sleeping with one eye open, because what did Deion tell us at the Super Bowl?
I hear you.
I would only coach in the NFL if I'm coaching my son.
Right.
The second that they lose 2, 3, 4 games, that's immediately the storyline, is it not? Whoever drafts him?
Well, or people, it's that, or it's now, wait, the media is asking Deion about Shedeur and his team in the NFL,
Every
and now
day.
Deion says something critical about the team, and does that become a distraction
And now
and
it's on
whatever
First
else?
Take,
right.
right?
I think those are things that teams are certainly a little worried about with Shedeur Sanders. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
And I think that's a fair factor into a decision, especially if, you're looking at these quarterbacks and you're not sure where they would have been taken if they were in last year's draft. Like, Cam Ward declared last year and then came back, and everyone was like, well, yeah, look at the quarterbacks in that class. Like, this was a very smart decision for him to position himself to possibly be QB1 by what he did at Miami, setting all those records.
And let me say this, too, off of what you're saying there, because I said this on my podcast yesterday, and I haven't watched these guys, like, studied. I'm ready to rank the quarterbacks or do that, right? But, like, I've heard some of that. Like, if Cam Ward was in last year's class, he wouldn't. Cam Ward is in the class of those guys last year. You're crazy to think that. Cam Ward's arm is special. Cam Ward can make plays that some of those guys in last year's class they can't do that.
But he's not QB1, though.
But
now he gets to be QB1.
Yeah, now he gets to be QB1. That's the difference of this year and last year. But he's certainly, all my point is like, I've heard some people, it sounds like, almost degrade these two. They're like, they wouldn't even be in the conversation with last year's class. And I'm like, I don't agree with that, and especially not Cam Ward.
It's gonna be really interesting. Your guy, Jalen Milroe, how he is evaluated, where people see him, right? Because Jackson Dart is starting to be QB3.
Definitely.
And I love Jackson Dart.
Yes.
He's gonna also make some mistakes, but like, that is a special player. The fact that Ole Miss fell short, I wouldn't put that all on him.
Yeah.
So
but Milroe's stock is down right now.
Yeah, but you know what? As soon as, like, if he throws the bombs, right? Like, because that's what you see, the talent and the natural athleticism.
Right.
It's that he doesn't make his reads right, the footwork, like some of that
Not
stuff.
Not the appropriate throw all the time.
So here, if you're throwing, like, for drills, I think Milroe will have a good week, but I'm fascinated because, like, he seems like he's got a high upside still, and we wondered that at Alabama. Yeah. But the lows are kind of low.
Yeah, they're too low. They scare people a little bit.
Where do we think the third guy goes? Is he a first rounder?
That's where
end of the first.
I'm not
early.
there yet, but Jackson Dart sounds like he's a guy. But I again, you know me. Give me a month here, and I'll be able to tell you really. But it looks like Jackson Dart. Yeah, is he one of those guys that teams overreach for, and he ends up going in the first round, or is he that rare Will Levis, Jimmy Garoppolo second-round pick? Right. That's to me what it kind of feels like.
Don't people always freak out scarcity? Right. If you're really not sure beyond him, don't you go up a little bit? And take him
they do.
late
They
in the first
do.
round?
Right. But there's a limit. There's a limit. So we'll see.
Here's the fun fact for if you guys talk to him. So the face paint that he wears is for Anakin Skywalker. He's like an Anakin fan.
Wow.
So it's a very odd interpretation of Star Wars.
Okay, all right.
But you need to ask him about it.
Okay, all right. We will ask him about that
Thank
for sure.
you so much. Enjoy your time here, and we appreciate the contributions. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.